Welcome to part 6. Pretty sure this is part 6. Yes. I've played with you and everything else. You should be good. You've been fed and everything. So just go ahead and get started. Where were we? We were fixing up legs. Oh, you want to give me a kiss? A little bit off screen, I went ahead a little bit. And I merged these into the legs themselves. I merged them into polymesh. And now we can subdivide these. Pretty sure. We can now start making much finer details of these. Oops. Yeah. And let's go ahead and what's this front leg? Let's just move the front leg down, I guess. And the back leg. So... once again, we are merging them together in 3D polymesh. And we are binding them together in a single group. So make sure that we have everything. So we want the front hoof leg. Perfect. We'll hide that. Right. We want this one, right? We should be able to edit this. Yeah, I should be able to edit this properly. Now that it's one mesh, we can now edit it correctly. Eyes is back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are working on the undead pony skeleton, kind of like doing a little tutorial. This is probably like one of the more simpler models. Our goal today is to work on the legs and then make some horns for the helmet. And probably maybe do some color. Color might be its own separate thing, but that's our objective today. Just try to simply make everything work together. Our objective, maybe, if we get to it, is maybe even duplicate and have these mirrored. I've made sure that I've played with the cat, so she shouldn't be too rambunctious. Oh, Hazel, nice, nice. Well, thank you very much. Hazel is such a pretty name. Why did you name your cat Hazel? Eyes, hair, why? We're going to bulk up the bones just a little bit. Normally, I wouldn't make these thicker, but I feel like I have to in order to make it at least viable for 3D printing. So normally bones are fairly thin. There we go. I need to subdivide this a little bit more, but I'm liking where it's going. Yes, welcome. Smooth that out just a little bit. Still have to do yak and griffins and stuff like that. I'll probably do that off screen, but this pony in particular, it's just like a simple soldier that anybody can use, and it's a tutorial. If anybody just wants to do the step-by-step process. This will be 3D rendered and everything else. It's a very simple design. Let's go ahead and subdivide this a couple times. Yeah, there we go. I saw her for her before I got her. I knew her name had to be Hazel. I think the fur and parents had me. Yep. Yeah, I mean, Hazel's pretty. I like hazel color. Super cute. I have a black cat named Demona. She is a black cat, which I got last year. I think she's going to have a birthday out here soon. She was a stray, and I caught her in a trap. Wasn't expecting to catch her. I was actually trying to catch the mama. But she fell into the trap first. I did catch Mama eventually and took her into like the vet, or not the vet, but the what was it? Humane Society. That's what it's called. I don't know what happened to Mama, but I took in her daughter, and her offspring's still out there. I still see black cats out there, so. Know how difficult it is to adopt a black cat, so people are just mean to them and stuff. So I was like, okay, I like you. You're going to come live with me. And she seems to like it here. She ran away and came back, so. I must not be too terrible. Feed her, made sure she shot, spayed. It's a magic horse. We don't have to be particularly special or elegant about this. There's a good question. Should I also do a Pegasus and a unicorn, since this is a base model? I think so. I honestly think so. We need those as well. So we might do also attachments. let's go ahead and do it. Let's do it. Just played with. She's 8. That's probably nap time. What is this? Okay. Do I need to increase the hoof size? I feel like it should. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to our inflate. Increase the hoof size. Objective is simply to make it easily standing. There we go. This is anatomy-wise, this is impractical, but because this is a cartoon and whatnot, well, 3D animation, we get a little bit of leeway in this. Oh, so probably need to flatten that out. Yeah, we're gonna have to flatten that out. What is this? Strange. I feel like I need to cut that out. Oh, also, Zbrush updated, apparently. We're at like 22.1, so there's a bunch of new tricks out there that we'll need to go and watch. A lot of them don't really apply, but some of them do. Did I not make a back leg? Let's see here, Append. Yeah, I did. Front leg, back leg. Yeah, okay. Interesting. I said, normally I wouldn't make them this large, but, you know, you have to. Gots to. And now we flatten. So we go to the flatten brush. All the brushes have been, let's polish, flatten. Flake, flatten, there we go. Ooh, that's not what I was wanting. Let's do this, and this, there we go. We'll soften that a little bit, but that is what we're going for. Yeah. Right. Now we're going to go back to the clay buildup, and then we're going to shrink down the size again. Horseshoes. Remember, it's not supposed to look pretty. That's what we're going for. And then we'll actually put in a horseshoe, like a legitimate horseshoe, once we've done that. But first we need the actual shape of the horse's hoof before doing that. That way there's an actual meat for the horseshoe to be on. If that makes sense. Objective is just simply to build up the flattened out part. Needs to stay the same, right? Then we need to give meat back to meat back to the hoof. Excuse me. What's going on here? Oh, there's a slip right here. I wasn't expecting that. Normally I'd chop this off, but because of the shape of the hoof itself, slowly working. And slowly coming undone. A nasty artifact right there. Normally I chop this out. There it goes. It's finally getting smoothed. Pretty much I'm hitting a shift and just smoothing it out. There we go. Okay, it didn't do too bad. You can see where, yeah, you can see where it worked a lot. That's not terrible. But we have to have at least clean, smooth hooves for which the horseshoe should be attached to. Up. I mean, that might be a reason why there's this fold right here of where it folded in on itself. So we'll take care of that right now. It'll only cause problems for us later down the road. So let's just go ahead and smooth that out. Okay. Yes, please autosave. Hello, hello. Yes, welcome, welcome. Hope all is well. I'm doing alright. You can always complain, right? Oh, how are you doing? I'm not doing too shabby. To that. See that back part? We'll have to come back to that. And if you see something, make sure that you fix it, because, you know, problems compound when you do that. See an issue, fix it. Yes, yes, welcome, welcome. A lot of things happened today. We had a changeover, an update. A lot of stuff changed. Okay, I'm just going to chop this out. There are multiple levels. Geometry, delete lowers, yep. Delete lowers, yes. So we've got the hoof again. For some reason, it keeps wanting to pinch. See how it's pinching on that corner right there? Let's go ahead and smooth that out. Yeah, there we go. All that's smoothed. I kind of want to take care of that edge, because I think that's what's happening. As we expand it, it pinches on the other side. So I feel like that's what we have to do. We have to take care of that. Yeah, sharp edge. You know, instead of doing that, we could maybe either pull it, or I think pulling would probably be best. Either inflate or pull. I'm thinking pull right now. Just pinch. Or move. Move is the correct word. Let's go ahead and expand that out just a little bit, and then just move it. That gives us a little bit more to work with. still have that sharp edge, but we don't want that. We'll go try inflating now. Let's lower the intensity a lot, though. Okay, inflate worked. Inflate worked. That should have taken care of it. So if you ever run into that problem, just inflate it slightly, and then hopefully go back to clay buildup, and that should deal with it. I don't know, it's pinching still. It's not as bad though. Yeah, it's not as bad. There we go. Probably need to push that in a little bit. They're about the same size. About the same. I mean, we'll find out once we actually make the horseshoe. Smoothed out. There we go. Worked out to our benefit. Although we kind of did lose that crease, it's not bad. There we go. That looks pretty good. Tells request your one-shot Skinny and Graham at the part where the Fire Drake mum. Still can't believe they didn't put together Starlight and being unbelievably obvious to everything. I mean, people forget, guys. People forget. You give them stuff, right? But it's a week or 2 weeks before they see it. You can't really blame them for it, right? I mean, all you can do as the DM is just give them hints and tips and hope that they use it, right? There's so many times where I'm like, I give you options of which hat to handle situations. But, it's up to players to remember. It's not my job to remember what assets and things they do. There's so many times where I'm like, hint, hint, poke, poke, nudge, nudge. Like, don't forget your items, guys. Don't forget your stuff. And you can only tell them so many times before you're just like, okay, they got this. They're adults. At least I think they are. But you got this. And it's also dice rolls, too. I think dice rolls were totally against them. Which was kind of funny. Because, they have tokens of friendship, right? That they get every game session. So, it's up to them if they want to use it or not. It's totally in their hooves. Totally in their hooves. just people forget. People forget. I mean, I don't think that I'm unfair as a DM. I think, you know, I give opportunities and suggestions and hints and stuff like that, but it's up to the players to do ultimately their choices, right? And in my game, choices have consequences, so yeah. DMs, I think, don't want to beat up their players at all, and I'm like, no, you have to. You do everything you can to give your players the ability to win. If they choose to not do it, then that's fine. That's their adventure. They're choosing not to do it. So, no sympathy. No sympathy at all. What is this? I think a lot of players are surprised when that happens. But people like it. People keep coming back to it. It's like, oh wow, my choices, consequences? And most people think that, you know, My Little Pony, easy game, easy, no challenge, very simple, very basic. Like, you might want to guess again on that. It's a very simple story. It's a very simple game system. Maybe people just underestimate it, or more. They think more complex games means harder, and that's somewhat true mechanically. But that doesn't mean that the story or the adventure is going to be that way. Right now I'm just kind of detailing the bones in themselves. We'll come back to this. I think right now I'm just nitpicking and I like the looks of it. We'll come back to that once let's see here, make a little more look around. Alright, let's go back to the front. And just edit this back part right here. I don't like this. Smooth this out. Let's go back to flattening. We could go smooth or just go polish. Just polish this. No. Flat. There we go. Try to get these hooves set up correctly. They don't have to be perfect, but they do have to be somewhat aligned properly. I mean, we'll see. Like, once we do, like, the horseshoes, you'll really see, like, how messed up they are. Okay. That looks pretty good. Okay. We have our general design, right? So now we need to actually make some horseshoes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to subdivision. We're going to append. We're going to append a plane. Where's our plane? So there's our plane right there. We need to select it. So planes are interesting that you have to double side this. So you have to go down to display properties. You have to go to double. You see both sides of it, and then you have to move them down. And then we would need to shrink this down to approximately a horseshoe size, right? So we need to bring this down to the horse's, or the undead critter's foot. We need to shrink it down to the approximate size. And don't worry if it's a little too big or a little too small. We're just trying to get approximate. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. It needs to cover it, right? And now that we are here, we're going to subdivide this a couple of times. So hit Control D, 1, 2. I subdivided it 3 times. In order to see how many it is, you have to go to geometry, and you can see the subdivisions. We're going to delete the lower subdivisions. Let's also do, what's it? Left, right click, and then go to topology, right? So let's go ahead and undo a couple of the subdivisions. So you see how many squares there are? Subdivisions allow us to 1, 2, make more squares. That way it'll be much more cleaner. Bones and decay be a thing. Oh yeah, bones and decay. We're going to delete lower. Hey, I just played with you. What is it? I just played with you. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to draw. We're going to go to... We're not going to change any of that. And we do want this to be smaller, right? And let's actually get a horseshoe. Let's get a reference, a horseshoe reference. Never be afraid to get an MLP horseshoe. We got caps. And I think we're going to go with that cutie mark images. There we go. That'll work right there. Copy this and paste it into our reference sheet. Paste. Links to this program right here is all in the description below. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's not on the stream, but it's on the YouTube video itself, so it will be on there. So now that we have a YouTube, a horseshoe reference, and we now know what we're doing, right? And we know that it's about approximately the correct size. We can now go and shrink our pattern. We are going to mask by hitting Control. have a riot going on. We're going to mask. We're going to just do a general shape, right? It doesn't have to be perfect on the first pass. We're going to make sure that we just have the generalized shape of what we're wanting, right? We have our horseshoe, and we're going to increase our size a little bit now that we have the appropriate mask, appropriate horseshoe. We're just going to increase the size a little bit at a time, going over each one, and just increase the size just a little bit more. Oh, that's too big. That seems right. You don't want to go outside the loop, right? Okay, so there we go. We have a nice horseshoe that we have here. Now we need to clean this up slightly, so we're going to shrink this down, especially here on the bottom. We're going to make sure that we have a clean bottom area. So what we're going to do is hit Control Alt, and this subtracts the mask from the area. We're just going to do a clean swipe left to right, and we're going to just clean up what we're wanting on the horseshoe. We definitely want this like sharp edge here on the bottom. And this is why we have the subdividing multiple times, so that way we can get these clean, crisp edges that we're wanting. And I feel like we're going to expand this just a little bit more out. And we're going to delete some of that in. There we go. And then once again, we're not wanting perfection, right? Because this is an undead pony, and these horseshoes are like centuries old. So we don't want them to be crisp in any sense. But we do want the general shape and everything to be correct. Does look correct. Okay. Now that we have the general size and everything else, now we're going to go up to Subtool. We are going to go to Split. We're going to split mask points. Boom. And now we have two separate figures, right? We have the original piece, the background, right? We're going to take that, right? And we're going to delete that, right? Yes. And now we are left with a simple horseshoe shape. Now a reminder, this isn't done yet, right? This is simply a layout. Now we're going to move this, right? We're going to duplicate, well, not going to duplicate it yet, but we're going to move this actually upon the shoe itself, right? The horse's feet. The undead horse's foot. Blah, blah, blah. As you recall, we also did this for the helmet. We simply masked out the skull and then tried to shape it appropriately towards it, right? So I am very happy on how that looks, right? Very, very happy on how that looks. We will have to increase the size of the hoof, but how it's looking right now is exactly what I'm going for, right? Now we are going to go down to geometry. We're going to go to edge loop right here. So geometry, edge loop, we are going to make sure that everything is single. So 0 loops, 1 loop, polish 0, we want no bevels, size, we're going to test it out here on the size. And we're going to take a look. Yeah, size needs to be a little bit bigger. I'm going to hit Control Z to go back, and we're going to make it just, we're at 1. Let's go up to 0.5. 0.05. Yes, that is what we're looking for. This is exactly what we're going for. And now we need to polish this, right? So we don't want these like super sharp edges and points. So what we'll do is we'll go back, right? And we want to keep the points that are sharp, right? So we wanted that stain, we want that corner stain, we want that corner stain, that corner stain, and that corner stain, and that corner stain. And now this will actually shrink as we go into deformation, right? So what I did was I masked each of the sharp points that we want to keep or maintain. And now we're going to polish the features, right? We're going to select this icon for the circle, and we're going to just simply polish. And seeing how that gives us a much crisper edge. Far crisper edge than we was before. And we're still keeping our sharp edges, right? So make sure that you mask the edges. Go into deform, polish, do that. And I'm actually quite pleased with that. I might do it just one more time, just a little bit more. There we go. Actually, I don't like that. I want to keep that. I undid that. So we're going to go up to, once again, geometry. We're going to have all this set up correctly. We're going to Control, drag, Shift, mask. I'll remove the mask point, so Control, no, just Control, click, and drag. Now we're going to add the points, and there we go. We have a perfect horseshoe. Ta-da! If we wanted to, we could really edit this and fix it how we wanted to, but I am currently just going to maybe just shrink it down just a little bit. Excellent. And now we're going to copy this. So we're going to Subtool, we're going to duplicate, we're going to bring this horseshoe down. And this is kind of like what's going to keep the hooves approximately the same size. Right? So we can already tell that we need to expand this, but because we have the two horseshoes, we have a legitimate and fair comparison in which to fix it. Right? So this one's wide. We just need to fix the size of it. Okay. So we're actually going to go back to hit our draw. I'm going to select our hoofs again. Oh, we don't want the topology on no more. And now we're going to go to clay. We're going to increase the size, and we're going to try to build this up into the horseshoe, right? So we need to clearly give it more meat on the back. We need clay build up. Right. I'm going to try to fit it into it. Yep, there we go. Don't need to get too carried away here, but it's okay if the horseshoe bites into the hoof itself, right? Don't want the hoof to go through the horseshoe, but it's okay if it does. We can always go back and change that. Okay, we're getting a little big there. Okay, that needs to be shrunk down. We need to close this gap right there. Let's go ahead and start smoothing stuff out again. Did you see how the horseshoe and stuff are starting to fit in? There we go. Then once again, try to fill in gaps. I actually learned this from the Snowdrop, or Lady Galanthus. Oops, that was not what I was wanting. Clean that up. Make that a little bigger. There we go. I don't like that. Smooth this out. And we should have a horse hoof. Don't worry, we're going to come back through it and flatten this. But right now, we're just trying to put meat on the hoof. Oh, what are you pulling at me for? Oh my gosh, you still have your shirt. Oh, let's get up here. Oh, what you pulling at me for? Like I'm some scratching post? Yeah, like I'm some scratching post. I see how it is. Okay, now we're going to go into flatten. So we're going to do horns today, but we never got there. We're actually doing horseshoes, which is kind of the same for a tutorial, but it's not half bad. Let's see here. I'm forgetting to answer questions. The joints look so strange on horses. Oh yeah, horses look really weird, especially their back legs. Front legs not so much, but their back legs look kind of freaky. But ultimately, we kind of look like them. Just certain parts are like elongated and stuff. It's weird. Anatomy is so strange on certain creatures. But it works. Yes, it does work. We were looking at the flatten. What's the matter? Am I not paying attention to you enough? Is that what it is? Yep. That's what it is. Okay, well. We still got 5 more minutes. Give us 5 more minutes, okay? I already played with you. I don't know why you're throwing a hissy fit. I actually need to flatten downward. Need 5 more minutes, I swear. I need 5 more minutes. She's like, no, play with me now. Or at least let me outside. I'm like, nope, it's cold outside. Let's go ahead and go with clay buildup. Once again, we're not trying to get it clean, right? We actually want it to be a little dilapidated and a little dilapidated and decayed. But Let's go ahead and quick save this.
Yes.
I have to go. Thank you guys very much for coming out. I have to take care of a protest.
Yes.
Thank you guys very much for coming out. I will see you guys tomorrow as I